Hey, this will be a video chart on VIPR. I did this one a little while ago, and it's continued to do well. Today had a red day, but after the bounce, which I'll point out, nothing to worry about. All the supports are still holding, so it's just part of the game. Profit takers, locking in some of their profits, and that's like I said, all a part of the stock market. So I want to get things updated so the people that have been asking for requests can kind of know where the chart stands and so forth. The video won't be too long, but at the same time, hopefully it'll be long enough to accomplish just pointing out where the chart currently stands. So I can't remember exactly the last time I did the video on it, but real quick, what we had here was a nice breakout day, and we had our 50-day simple moving average right there. So we pulled back to that, and once again, just a great example here of how pullbacks aren't a bad thing as long as support levels hold. And at that point in time, it was a 50-day simple moving average that needed to hold. It did, and then you saw what happened. Look at this big bounce. It bounced from 0.001 up over 100% to a high of 0.0023 today before finally pulling back. So this pullback and then bounce, just a classic example of how bullish consolidation pullbacks like this can prove to be healthy. So yes, like I said, today was red, but remember this when the chart looked like that, I'm sure some people were freaking out and so forth, and then you saw the results. So are we guaranteed to bounce another 100%? Well, of course not. There's no guarantees in the market, but as long as the support levels continue to hold, then the chart will remain bullish from the daily chart perspective. So the thing to point out here was we had this previous high at 0.0016, and this when it was broken, you can see what happened. Nice move. But today's pullback happened, and it held great as support. The low of today was 0.0016, and being it was a previous high, that's what you wanted to see happen. So good job so far in terms of the bulls holding up at strong levels. Now another important support level here that we need to keep our eye on is going to be based right here at 0.0014. So let me change this to green, and then I'll go over kind of why that's a level. But if you look back at the previous history of the stock, you can see there's a bunch of lows here. So this is where it acted as support. A bunch of closes right there, and then right here at this spot it finally became resistance. And then we saw the bounce back up, and right here the resistance held strong and knocked the price back down. And then earlier, I guess last week, we had a pullback, and sure enough, right there it was acting as support once again because the price got above it. So for argument's sake, or whatever, if you want, you can just call this a little support zone right here, with the top of it being 0016 and the bottom of it being 0014. If you want to just stick with specific levels, then you could just say 0.0016 and 0.0014, or like I said, you can just kind of combine it all and call it just a big support zone. Now there's still another support level below that, and it's not a preferable one in terms of seeing the price pull all the way back down there, but we do have this level down here, which is basically the 50-day simple moving average, and percentage wise that would be a pretty big drop. But once again, from a charting perspective, it could still come down here, and let me explain why. From the daily chart perspective, it could still be bullish if it came down there. If it came down here and let's say bounced around this area before heading back up, two things occurred. One, we'd have a nice little double bottom pattern because we would bend down here before, we'd come down here again, this would be our double bottom, and then we'd head back up. The other reason would be just simply looking at the lows. We had a low down here, had to move up, pull back, low right there, had to move up, low there, then had a bigger move up and a pullback, and if we got a low somewhere right around here, all these lows would be higher than the previous ones, which then would give us the ability to continue to draw, a nice solid uptrend line like that. So like I said, sure, I know that wouldn't be most people's guess, but if you're in this for a longer term hold from the daily chart perspective, that would still technically be in an uptrend. Preferably and ideally, yeah, we want to see these levels hold as support. But if they don't, you do still have this final kind of last hurrah support level down here to hold up if the price does indeed fall all the way back down there. But from where we close, that would take quite a bit. Like I said, we have this support zone here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the the price pull back here, do a little bit of hovering, and then hopefully come back up here and make another push upwards. On the resistance side of the equation, we still have this level here that was support briefly, But now we're back to having 0.0018 as resistance, and then we have our new little resistance area right here at 0.0023, which was where the bears finally decided to step in. So that's where we stand right now on the VIPR chart. If you do have any other questions on it, please shoot me a message. I'd also encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, which has been getting very good reviews. And with your subscription to the newsletter, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. And best part is it's all free. So I'd encourage you to check it out. One more time, this was VIPR. Thanks for listening.